So it happens sometimes. You know, you'll have a franchise that's been around for a long time, like Prince of Persia. What do you mean, John? Well, for people who don't know, Prince of Persia started on the Nintendo. Kind of like Final Fantasy. People don't remember that. But Prince of Persia started on Nintendo. And it was just a simple, side scroller type game, and you still had your, all the things you were doing, but it was on Nintendo. And then once it came around, it was like PS2, and you have the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, and you have this really cool time mechanic where you can rewind and stuff like that. It was really really cool, and I think whatever games have come out since then, or movies, they just kind of compare it to the game because they want it to be like the game because it's really really good. There was a Prince of Persia movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. That was like how long ago was it? Like 2010, if I remember. Um, so, but sometimes you don't have an everlasting presence, something like Final Fantasy, which again started on the Nintendo, and look how big Final Fantasy's gotten. Or pretty much most of Nintendo's IPs, Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Kirby, Star Fox, Donkey Kong. Um, or even Sony, you have Crash and Spyro and just very memorable characters, and people want to see more of them. But Prince of Persia, one of the original, well, not originals, but on the OG Nintendo, just kind of being pushed aside for mediocrity because people just don't want to give it the appreciation and the respect it deserves. Now, I do admit the game, the Lost Crown does visually look cool. The combat looks pretty cool, but it just didn't do very well. I think mainly because there was hardly any marketing for it. People's companies seem to think that they can sell a game or a movie on just name alone. No, you need to market it. If no one knows this game exists, because there's no chance, there's no guarantee that big YouTubers or influencers will start playing the game and talking about it. You know, Prince of Persia, does that sound like someone big like Markiplier or someone is going to play? Probably not. So if you don't have people talking about it, you can't rely on just name. People are going to say, "Oh, Prince of Persia. Oh, I remember that game. I guess I'll." No, they need a reason. So that's just one thing that companies don't do anymore. They don't market well, and when they do market, it's like superficial things like, "Oh my God, we have the most diverse cast. It's the gayest project ever. It's this or that or blah blah blah." It's like that's not marketing. you know, you can't sell your game or your product with superficial crap. You need to give us a reason to be invested into it. If I'm going to give you 80, 70 to $100 of my hard-earned money for a game, I want to make sure the game is good, or at the very least sell me on why I should purchase this game, or view the movie, or tune into whatever new show is out. You need to give me a reason apart from, oh, the cast is diverse, or we have our first gay character. It's the gayest thing. This oh, it's represent. You know, that's not marketing. That's not marketing. But anyway, what would have been a revival of once iconic franchise, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, missed the mark on several fronts. Low sales numbers reflect Ubisoft's mismanagement of the latest title in the storied series that redefined gaming, leaving its future uncertain. Yeah, that whole time mechanic that it had. Now, Mario and Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, back on the N64, revolutionized 3D games. Yeah, it's crazy what they did. Um, and then you have the PS2 and Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, and just that mechanic of the rewinding time and how flawless it seemed, the running on the wall type things, even though you could do stuff like that in Ninja Gaiden and stuff like that. Prince of Persia really perfected it, I guess. And then you had a lot of games coming out after that were trying to kind of imitate what Prince of Persia managed to do. Just again because of that time mechanic and how flawlessly it worked, what it seemed to. Um, so it did really, redefine what gaming was and how you could add puzzles and stuff like that involving this real cool mechanic of rewinding time, and implementing that and just kind of redefining what it means to play a game. Saying, oh, hey, this part looks okay. Do I need to do something and then rewind time? And it really makes you think of, other options that you wouldn't normally see with just going up to it. Since there's a time mechanic, you're like, oh, okay, wait, let me think. Okay, so I think I have to do this. And then you find out, oh yeah, that's what you do. It's like, oh, clever. Yeah. 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 Um, but you know, uh Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, became a critical darling upon release. The absence of a mainline Prince of Persia title since The Forgotten Sands. Wow, it's really been that long. That's crazy. Um, Certainly helped to get rave reviews for critics, fans alike, holding a strong 85 plus score. The franchise lay dormant in many years as Ubisoft focused on other franchises, including Assassin's Creed. Oh, Assassin's Creed. uh, Far Cry, Ghost Recon, and more. In those 14 years, God, I'm old. I'm old. Ubisoft's reputation crumbled as the French giant opted for some rather controversial decisions and pushed out games that felt, to say the least, unfinished. However, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown brings back the classic series with a 2.5D story-driven adventure that yet again plays with time travel. Yeah, which is really, really cool. So it's very much like a nod to the original on the Nintendo, but also bringing back the time mechanic that people loved from Sands of Time. So you're taking the origin and something that really made people say, wow, this is incredible, and that was amazing back in the day, combined them together, you should have had an amazing game. It's like Prince of Persia has been around since, first, Nintendo, and then taking parts of Sands of Time. It should be a match made in heaven. And yet somehow didn't work. Didn't work. Set in a war-torn Persia, suffering from famine, players follow Sargon, a royal and one of the elite immortals, who is tasked with fighting off the Kushan Empire. The story starts with Sargon proving his worth by defeating the Kushan general Uvishka. This is a fantastical tutorial piece that serves to introduce players to, yeah. So basically, kind of like the Metroid, like they say, Metroid. Castlevania has like like the handheld games are like that, where you'll have just one large map and you'll have like gates or doors that you just go through, but it's one large map. Hollow Knight's like that. So yeah, it's basically like one big connected maze. Sometimes you'll go to one side of the map and find that, oh hey, there is a secret passage here, and it'll lead you back to the other side somehow. It's just it really allows you to explore and you know um stuff like that. Uh Platforming, but also sets the dramatic tone that will follow throughout the journey. Unfortunately for Sargon, his character design didn't connect with the fans of the franchise. The reveal trailer repelled many as the heir to the throne was styled more as a modern Prince of Africa, featuring Killmonger dreadlocks. Yeah, accompanied by an ill-thought rap soundtrack. Yeah. Yeah, you'll see when it comes to strong black men or men of color, they always give them that the with the side. You have the dreads and the side cut, and just it's every single time. But is that what they're calling it? The Killmonger? Oh God, he's got the Killmonger. He's got the Killmonger. And for some reason, just because it's a man of color, they seem to think that it needs a rap to go along with it. Same thing with Yasuke and Shadows. um, Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's like just because he's a black man, that's kind of stereotypical. The man is living in ancient Japan. Why the hell would you have a rap song accompanying his trailer? That's so stupid and stereotypical and downright offensive. Oh wait, no, I'm a racist. Remember, because I call things out. So it's no, it's fine. It's all fine. It's all fine to have a freaking rap song for every black character or colored character that is released because that's what all of them like, right? Just let's lump them all in. Yeah, Ubisoft is really bad with the you know, with doing that crap. Prince of Persia started its journey as a 2D series games created by Jordan Mechner, centered around various incarnations of the eponymous prince in ancient and medieval Persia. The first two games were published by Broderbund before the first one, 3D Prince of Persia, hit platforms 1999. 2001, Sands of Time, 2003. Wow. Warrior Within, 2004. Two Thrones, 2005. God, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's insane. These were the peak Prince of Persia games, turning into a cult classic, with each selling millions copies. This is most likely thanks to the central character who managed to stick with fans as the player within the prince's raw evolution throughout the games, kind of like Kratos. Even though it's different games, it might be different settings. You're following Kratos and you're seeing his evolution and the stuff he's going through, and we went from starting in ancient Greece to now we're with Norse mythology in the current games, and so it's this very same Kratos, the anger filled god of war from the first game, but he's mellowed out a little bit because we've seen his evolution and him, all his hatred and rage and all that subside throughout the games, and him kind of coming to terms with himself and understanding his place. Not to mention he has his son that he's looking after, so he's got to kind of father up a little bit. And he's a very good father for the most part. His boy. Stop this crap. Stop this crap right now. Fast forward to 2024, Ubisoft probably released its best and least flawed game in the last decade with Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. However, the beloved franchise was left out to die. Yeah, $70 price tag for that kind of, yeah. It sounds like it won't be a lot, but those games, I mean, $40 most, maybe 30. But $70 for that type of game, just followed by limited UBI Connect distribution, a launcher with minimal user base. This crippled its visibility and sales potential. Launched without the reach of Steam, The Lost Crown struggled, selling only about 1 million copies, falling well short of Ubisoft's projections for the game. Yeah, so I mean, it's sad to see. Prince of Di no Prince of Persia has always, I mean, it's Prince of Persia of Persia. So it's always followed that kind of stuff. So I mean, you, Mr. L, yeah, again, the game's been out since the original Nintendo. It's always followed a Prince, Prince of Persia. So it's always had, I guess, what they would consider dark characters. So clearly this dude is a freaking moron. Did it flop on consoles or just with the PC master race? I imagine it was successful on consoles. They'd make another instead of it kind of just letting series die. Love how they decided to go back to the ancient Persian mythology for the latest game, and then proceed then to inject modernism that has nothing to do with ancient mythology. Yeah, that's the problem with Ubisoft now. It's like they had this great series, and it's like, let's just inject crap into it. Um, I mean, for me, it doesn't look like it would be enough to turn me away from it. It still looks like it's a really good game. I just don't have whatever amount it is, even if it comes down in price. I don't have that right now, so um, they're remaking the PS2 game, but who knows when or if that'll happen. Same with Splinter Cell. I'm tired of shilling for this game. It deserves failure. Since Sands of Time, The Prince of Persia, the Prince is an important element of the series. You can't replace him with some DEI hire and expect people to buy the game. Yeah, that's another thing. It's like that's like having God of War without Kratos. That's why I brought up God of War. You know, it's God of War. When you think of God of War, who do you think of? Kratos. It wouldn't be God of War if you added, a different character and because no, Kratos is the God of War. Well, currently God of War. So it'd be, or that's like having a show with the main title as the same name as the main character, like Naruto, and then having him like be replaced in the first or second episode. Well, then it's not Naruto anymore, is it? You know, so people are not going to watch Naruto if some other person is the main character. Like you look at Naruto and you know that Naruto is the main character. Um, and when it comes to Legend of Zelda, it's a bit more tricky with there because it's called the Legend of Zelda, and yet we follow Link. Except for Echoes of Wisdom and Tears of the Kingdom, which was really, really good because it really showed us Zelda, how badass she can be. That terrible game on the CDI, uh, Adventures of Zelda, the Wand of Gamelon, or Faces of Evil. I think it was Wand of Gamelon, with Zelda, because one was Link, one was Zelda. So yeah, you've only had a 2, 3 games that have, most of them were bad, or not most of them actually. No, Echoes of Wisdom good, Tears of the Kingdom good, because it really shows you the Legend of Zelda. But yeah, it's you see this character throughout the series, and then they just change it, and it's like, what? Like He-Man, and then He-Man dying the first episode. Scott Pilgrim dying first episode. It's like, why name these shows that if you're just going to kill off the main character in the first episode? It's stupid, and then you wonder why people get turned off by the show or whatever it is. But yeah, again, it doesn't look like that bad of a game. It doesn't look that bad of a game. Despite the fact that it's not the Prince or anything, the combat looks pretty cool. The graphic, areas look beautiful, very colorful. The so I mean, I could easily look past whatever crap was in there, but some people are just not as forgiving as I. Anyway, anyway, what do you think? Did you play the original Prince of Persia? Are you that old? Hang on. Yeah, it was 1992, so yeah, a while ago. It did start on something else. But like consoles, like popular consoles as we know it started on Nintendo. It was like the Apple II, I think it was, or something like that. Um but yeah, it was that, and then Nintendo had it in 1992. And then there was like another game like a year or two later. There's one like 95 or something, 99. Um, but yeah, it's just been a really popular series, and it just reminds me how old I am. I don't think I ever played Prince of Persia. We had we had Nintendo, we had a lot of games. I don't know if Prince of Persia was among them because I was usually playing like Super Mario 3 or Duck Hunt or Zelda or something else. So I don't even remember. Hell, I think I played the Double Dare game a lot more than anything else. You're like, wow, you're old. Yeah, yeah, I'm that old. The Double Dare game for Nintendo, the original Nintendo. Yeah, really pulling up some obscure crap here now. But yeah, let me know if you played the first game. Well, the first Nintendo game. If you played the original, the Apple II or whatever, let me know. But just mainly the like home consoles and stuff. Just so it's basically starting with Nintendo. Let me know. And which game is your favorite? But yeah, that's gonna do that. That's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.